Disclaimer: this video presents analysis and historical commentary for educational purposes. All economic scenarios discussed are speculative and based on publicly available information. On October 30th, 2025, two men will sit across from each other in South Korea. One controls the dollar. The other controls the rare earth metals that power everything you own, from the phone in your hand to the missiles guarding your borders. What they decide behind those closed doors could make your grocery bill explode by 30%, collapse stock markets, and determine whether the global economy keeps breathing or flatlines by morning. Can two men really decide the fate of your wallet? They're about to try. This isn't politics. This is power. And power always comes with a price, usually paid by everyone but the people in that room. Less than a month ago, this meeting wasn't even supposed to happen. Trump had walked out of trade talks, threatening 100% tariffs on Chinese imports, while Beijing responded by quietly suffocating the flow of critical minerals the modern world can live without. Factories froze. Costs spiked. Each government thought the other would blink first, but now suddenly they're talking again. Someone flinched. The question is, who? And what did they have to promise to make this meeting possible? Because in the language of geopolitics, dialogue only happens when both sides start bleeding money. Before we predict what October 30th might unleash, we need to remember something crucial. This is the first time the fate of the global economy has been decided in a private room. In 1985, 5 men met secretly at the Plaza Hotel in New York. Their goal was simple: devalue the U.S. dollar. No votes, no press, no transparency. They called it coordination. History calls it the Plaza Accord. It worked too well. Japan's exports skyrocketed, its stock market ballooned, and then its economy imploded. A slow-motion collapse it still hasn't escaped 40 years later. A handful of men in a suite made decisions that reshaped billions of lives. This isn't new. It's the playbook. Fast forward to 2025. The names have changed, but the script is the same. Trump and Xi aren't meeting to save the global economy. They're meeting to save themselves. The numbers are unforgiving. America's trade deficit with China broke $650 billion this year. China's growth, meanwhile, has fallen to its lowest level in decades. Both sides are limping into this negotiation, pretending to hold the upper hand. Starting November 1st, if nothing changes, Trump's tariffs will double almost every import. So when Trump and Xi meet on October 30th, they're continuing the same tradition, rewriting the world order one handshake at a time, leaving the rest of us to pay for the rewrite. They'll frame it as stability. But stability always comes after chaos they engineered first. Want proof this is part of a pattern? Look at history's economic flashpoints. 1973, Arab oil embargo. Overnight, gas prices quadrupled. The world learned what dependency really means. 1985, the Plaza Accord, another secret meeting, another currency revolt. 2008, financial meltdown. 2020, pandemic stimulus that inflated fiat currencies worldwide. 2025, now rare earths, the 21st century's oil, are the new choke points. Every time we centralize power in one place, whether it's gold, oil, or lithium, someone learns to weaponize it. The U.S. once ruled through the dollar. China now rules through resources. And both pretend the other is the villain. So what are they really negotiating? Beyond the handshakes and camera flashes, it's a trade of vulnerabilities. Trump needs manufacturing to return to American soil. She needs Washington to stop using the dollar as a weapon. Both want to reshape global markets around themselves. And both understand one ugly truth: global crises are votes waiting to be counted. The more people hurt, the more desperate they become. And desperation wins elections. But here's what makes this meeting different: AI-driven finance. Algorithms now track words in real time. When Trump says progress, algorithms buy. When Xi says cooperate, algorithms sell. Every rumor in that room moves trillions before either can take a sip of water. The financial system doesn't wait for truth. It bets on shadows. Meanwhile, back in the real world, you'll see the effects not in headlines, but receipts. A week after the meeting, your groceries will quietly cost more. Your energy bills will whisper the outcome before you ever read about it. Because monetary policy isn't designed for transparency, it's designed for delayed pain. By the time you realize, the deal is already done, and the spin cycle has begun. And we've seen this movie too many times. Politicians call it coordination. Historians call it manipulation. And you feel it every time your paycheck loses a little more value. The great irony is that both nations need each other too much to truly win. America needs China's resources. China needs America's customers. They read trapped in what investors call fatal interdependence. Neither can survive without a system that is killing them both, like a toxic marriage financed by credit cards. So what happens if October 30th breaks down? If Trump storms out and Xi retaliates? 3 outcomes. 1. Illusion. Scenario 1. The handshake victory. Markets cheer, headlines say deal, but nothing changes. Scenario 2. Cosmetic concessions. Tariffs delayed, exports reviewed, more talking scheduled. The can gets kicked. Scenario 3. The rupture. No agreement. Beijing bans exports, oil prices spike, the Dow tumbles, and the world learns too late that globalization was built on quicksand. Wall Street bets on Scenario 1, history and reality bet on Scenario 3. Let's zoom in on the human cost. Behind every rare earth magnet and an iPhone sits a miner in Jiangxi province earning $3 a day, sifting toxic mud by hand. Behind every tariff announcement sits a warehouse worker in Ohio told their shift is canceled because parts aren't arriving. Behind every corporate press release lies a government subsidy funded by taxpayers who can't afford rent. The global economy isn't a system anymore. It has a hostage negotiation where the hostages pay the ransom through inflation. Funny how capitalism always needs rescuing, but the people working inside it never do. And still, leaders insist this is competition. Competition between whom? Governments that print money or governments that mine it? The truth is, you're not part of the competition. You're the prize. Every crisis, every adjustment, every bailout transfers wealth upward. It's a mechanism disguised as chaos. The people at the table don't see it as tragedy. They see it as balance. Now rewind one last time to Bretton Woods' golden promise, to Plaza's secret signatures, to Nixon's television address breaking the gold standard. Each moment followed the same rhythm. Panic, meeting, solution, inflation, forgetfulness. Humanity keeps hitting copy-paste on its own downfall. Generations change, names change, but the methods, those stay identical. So when Trump and Xi appear smiling for cameras in Seoul, remember, they're not agreeing on peace. They're negotiating terms of surrender disguised as cooperation. And someone, somewhere, already profited before that handshake happened. You might wonder, can anything break the cycle? Only this understanding how it works. Because knowledge is the only weapon that doesn't get confiscated when economies collapse. Power loves secrecy. Wealth loves complexity. But both crumble in the face of pattern recognition. You can't stop a secret meeting, but you can stop being surprised by it. On October 30th, 2 men in suits will sit under fluorescent lights surrounded by translators and security guards, deciding what you will pay for food next month. But while they talk of balance and stability, the reality will be simple. They'll protect assets, not people. They always have. This is the religion of economic sacrifice for stability, worship of growth, and denial of consequence. So here's your takeaway. Every empire collapses not when enemies attack, but when citizens stop understanding how their money really works. That's why this channel exists, to make you impossible to fool. Because when the next Bretton Woods begins, and the next Plaza Accord is written, you won't just be watching history, you'll be decoding it. So stay skeptical, stay curious, and keep watching. Because the secret meeting that decides your money's future, I send the happening in Seoul. It has happening every day inside the systems you were told to trust. This is money's hidden history. And as the world waits for October 30th, remember, history doesn't just repeat itself. It negotiates the terms first.